Absolute zero is minus 273 degrees Celsius. That's the coldest anything in the universe can possibly be. It's the ultimate limit. Except there's one place that's sitting at minus 272 degrees. Just 1 degree away from impossible. And inside this cosmic deep freezer, a star is literally ripping itself apart and creating the most extreme environment we've ever discovered. 5,000 light-years away from Earth, floating in the constellation Centaurus, there's this ghostly cloud of dust and gas. From a distance, it looks almost peaceful, beautiful even. But don't let that fool you, because this thing is the coldest known place in the entire universe. We're talking about temperatures so extreme that they shouldn't even exist. So how cold are we talking here? Well, let's put this in perspective. Okay, so you know how space is supposed to be this freezing, empty void? Well, technically space itself has a temperature. It's called the cosmic microwave background, which is basically the leftover heat from the Big Bang still floating around the universe. That ancient radiation that's been traveling through space for nearly 14 billion years sits at about minus 270 degrees Celsius. That's minus 454 degrees Fahrenheit for my American friends. Pretty cold, right? That's the baseline temperature of the cosmos. The background hum of the universe, if you will. Now here's where things get absolutely bonkers. The Boomerang Nebula, it clocks in at minus 272 degrees Celsius. That's minus 458 degrees Fahrenheit. This thing is literally 1 degree away from absolute zero. And for those who don't know, absolute zero is the ultimate cosmic speed limit for cold. That's the point where atoms basically stop moving entirely. The theoretical lowest temperature possible in our entire universe. Nothing can be colder. It's physically impossible. To put that in perspective, the coldest place on Earth is Antarctica at about minus 98 degrees Celsius. The Boomerang Nebula makes Antarctica look like a tropical beach vacation. Your freezer at home? That's balmy compared to this. Even liquid nitrogen, which boils at minus 196 degrees Celsius, would freeze solid instantly in the Boomerang Nebula. So how did we even find this cosmic icebox? Well, back in 1980, two astronomers named Keith Taylor and Mike Scarrett were using a telescope in Australia when they spotted this weird double-lobed shape in space. And because they were in Australia, and because the shape kind of looked like a boomerang at the time, they gave it that name. The Boomerang Nebula was born. But here's the thing. They knew it was strange. They knew something unusual was going on. But they had no idea just how special this object really was. Fast forward to the mid-1990s. Astronomer Raghvendra Sahai was sitting there thinking about the universe, and he had this fascinating question. He wondered, with all the weird and extreme stuff out there in space, surely there must be something somewhere that's even colder than the background radiation from the Big Bang, right? It's a huge universe. The math says it should be possible. So in 1995, Sahai and his colleague Lars-Åke Nyman decided to test this theory. They used the 15-meter Swedish ESO submillimeter telescope in Chile, one of the most sensitive instruments for detecting cold objects in space, and they pointed it straight at the Boomerang Nebula. When the data came back, they must have checked it 3 times, because the numbers were insane. Minus 272 degrees Celsius. They had actually found it. The coldest place in the known universe, and it wasn't just cold. It was the only object ever discovered that's colder than the cosmic background radiation itself. They had discovered something that shouldn't exist according to everything we thought we knew. Now here's where this gets really interesting, because the Boomerang Nebula isn't just sitting there being cold for no reason. There's actually something incredible happening inside it, something violent and beautiful at the same time. At the heart of this frozen cloud is a dying star, and not just any star. This is a red giant that's in its final death throes, shedding its outer layers in what scientists call a planetary nebula. Now don't let that name confuse you. It has nothing to do with actual planets. Early astronomers just thought they looked round and puffy like planets through their telescopes. Classic astronomy naming fail, honestly. But here's what makes the Boomerang Nebula special. Most dying stars, they kind of gently puff off their outer layers over time. It's like a slow exhale. But this star is absolutely losing its mind. It's blasting material out into space at absolutely insane speeds. We're talking about 164 kilometers per second. That's over 367,000 miles per hour. To put that in perspective, that's about 150 times faster than a bullet. And it's not like this just started yesterday. This star has been throwing off mass at this ridiculous speed for the last 1,500 years straight, non-stop, just continuously blasting its guts out into the void. Can you imagine the amount of material that's being ejected? We're talking about the mass equal to thousands of Earths just being hurled into space. And this is the key to everything. This is where the magic happens. When gas expands really, really fast, it cools down. It's basic physics, but the scale here is just mind-blowing. Think about when you spray an aerosol can for too long and it gets cold in your hand, or when you let air out of a tire and you can feel it get chilly. Same principle, just on a cosmic scale that would absolutely blow your mind. So all this material is being thrown off at breakneck speed, expanding rapidly into space. And as it expands, it's cooling down so fast and so much that it's actually absorbing heat from the surrounding space. Read that again. It's so cold that it's literally sucking up heat from its environment. It's pulling in the background radiation from the Big Bang itself, like some kind of cosmic vacuum cleaner. That's why it's colder than the average temperature of space. It's not just sitting in cold space being cold. No, it's actively making itself colder than everything around it. It's the only known object in the entire universe that's colder than the cosmic background radiation. Think about that for a second. Let that sink in. In a universe that's nearly 14 billion years old, filled with hundreds of billions of galaxies, each containing hundreds of billions of stars, each with their own planetary systems and nebulae and all kinds of crazy cosmic phenomena, this one dying star has managed to create the coldest spot we've ever found. Out of everything. This is it, the champion of cold. Now, here's a fun twist to this whole story. Remember how I said it was named the Boomerang Nebula because of its shape? Well, when the Hubble Space Telescope got a better look at it in the 2000s, astronomers realized something kind of hilarious. It doesn't actually look like a boomerang at all. With better technology and higher resolution images, they could see it's more like an hourglass or a butterfly shape. Those two lobes of material being shot out in opposite directions create this almost symmetrical pattern. It's actually quite beautiful in a haunting sort of way. But the name stuck anyway, because let's be honest, Boomerang Nebula sounds way cooler than Butterfly Nebula or that weird hourglass thing. Marketing matters, even in astronomy. What's really fascinating about the Boomerang Nebula is what it tells us about the universe. See, we can create super cold temperatures here on Earth in labs. Scientists have gotten atoms down to fractions of a degree above absolute zero using lasers and magnetic fields and all kinds of sophisticated equipment. But out there in nature, in the wild cosmos, the Boomerang Nebula is the champion. It's nature's own deep freeze, created without any fancy technology or controlled environments, and it's giving us a front row seat to watch a star die in real time. Well, real time as in we're seeing what happened 5,000 years ago because that's how long it takes for the light to reach us. But still, this is stellar death in action, and it's creating the most extreme temperature conditions known to exist naturally anywhere. This dying star will eventually shed all its outer layers, and what's left will become a white dwarf. A small, dense core that will slowly cool over billions of years. But right now, in this moment, it's creating something extraordinary, a place where the laws of thermodynamics are being pushed to their absolute limits. You know what gets me about space? It's full of these extremes that our brains just can't fully comprehend. The hottest stars burning at millions of degrees, the most massive black holes with gravity so strong that nothing escapes, galaxies moving at impossible speeds. But there's something uniquely mind-bending about the Boomerang Nebula. Because cold feels familiar to us, right? We've all been cold. We know what winter feels like. We understand frost and ice. But this is a kind of cold that would freeze nitrogen solid in seconds. A cold where molecules barely vibrate, where if you could somehow survive there, which you absolutely couldn't, the concept of temperature as we know it just breaks down completely. Your body heat would be ripped away so fast you wouldn't even register it. So the next time you're complaining about how cold it is outside, just remember there's a cloud of gas and dust 5,000 light years away that's so cold it makes the vacuum of space look warm by comparison. A dying star throwing off its guts at hundreds of thousands of miles per hour, creating a cosmic freezer that sits just 1 degree above the coldest temperature theoretically possible in our universe. The Boomerang Nebula, nature's ultimate freezer, the coldest place in the universe. And honestly, the fact that something like this even exists out there, just doing its thing in the darkness of space, completely indifferent to our amazement, is absolutely incredible. If this blew your mind, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more wild space facts, because trust me, the universe has plenty more surprises where this came from. I'll see you in the next one.